So let's move on to the senatorial race. We are here with a week to go, or no, less than a week to go before December 8th, when the special election is. You came out and you support Capuano.
Yes.
Do you think in this time period that the Globe supports Alan Casey, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mishmash. Steve Pagliuca, I know more about him than I've ever thought I would never know about anyone who bought time on TV and radio.
Right.
And Martha Coakley, I know less about her than I would like to know to go to the polls. Has this been kind of a crazy election? I mean, it just seems that do people even know it's happening?
Well, I think I think that's going to be one of the most interesting things. I mean, I'm interested to see who wins. There's polling that says that Coakley's got a lead and so forth. I think that's going to be interesting. But I really am going to be interested in the turnout. I think that's going to be a very interesting number. How many people was this campaign sufficient to interest? How many people were motivated to come out and opine on this issue? That'll be interesting. I don't know. Maybe some people think it'll be a very low turnout, and if it does. I think that's one of the things that could surprise. I mean, I think, Capuano's got a great local organization, and if the turnout's low enough, you never know how close that could turn out to strike.
There is a new perk. It's not a perk. It's a quirk that is happening. You don't get phone calls anymore, and when you're on the no-call list for all the people that used to call you in the evening selling you stuff.
Right.
And now you get calls from politicians instead. You get the robocalls that come in at night.
Right.
And Michael Capuano is a real big offender. But I have to tell you this. In my consciousness, he's popping through. Because I have gotten some glimmer that he has some real personality and some guts. And I'm really, guts to call me every night at 7 o'clock at night asking for my vote. But beyond that, I'm really getting a sense of his feistiness. I think it's too late, though. I do. He has not displayed himself adequately in this short time frame, I feel.
Well, look, I think Martha has a huge air advantage just in terms of name recognition that has just served her so well for these years. Once she got the name recognition on the Eapen case,
right,
and then that built paved the way to the DA's office,
right,
paved the way unopposed in the primary to the AG's office,
right,
and so that's a level of statewide visibility that's extremely valuable for a politician, and so difficult for other people to achieve.
You had a very interesting thing to say about people who are in law enforcement positions running for political office. And I would love you to share it with our viewers, because it was very astute and very interesting. Whereas someone who is a lawyer and becomes a defender, an attorney general, why are they not the best politician?
Well, a defender, that's an interesting experience. But to me,
I'm sorry,
prosecutor,
you're right, prosecutor.
What I think of is, in our legal system, the role of the prosecutor is an extremely powerful role. Mm-hmm. The prosecutor is able to decide whether they want to go forward with a case, settle a case, mm-hmm. dismiss a case, and they have utter and complete discretion to do that. They have some level of political accountability. Obviously they have to be reelected, but by and large, nobody knows the facts as to why they do what they do. A lot of it's shrouded with the secrecy of the grand jury, and under the law, you basically cannot challenge those decisions. You cannot sue the prosecutor for suing you. It's just protected. So the prosecutor is God. They get input from their staff, but ultimately they make the decisions, and their word is law. And that's true for a DA. It's true even more true for an attorney general, because the attorney general In the DA's office, you have a flow of business going at you. Police are constantly bringing cases. You have to prosecute those cases. You have to decide what you're going to do with it. If the police don't like it, they're going to let you know. So there's a little bit more pressure there. But in the AG's office, you decide where you want to go. You just say, I think we ought to do more healthcare cases. So you go out and make healthcare cases. I think I'd like to protect more wage cases. Okay, you're going to go do those.
So how does that translate?
Yeah, the issue, that's totally different from the world of a legislator.
Yeah.
Or even the world of a governor.
Yeah.
Because you have much less power than you think. Okay, I mean, the typical problem is with the governor, right? The governor thinks they can run the show.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm the governor. Well, yeah, you're the governor. So what? I mean, there's a whole lot of other people that have to decide that they agree with you if you want to get anything done. Totally different world than the world that the AG inhabits. So I think the conciliation skills, the acceptance of that I have to compromise, those skills are not developed by a career in law enforcement as a top prosecutor. And I think Tom Riley, great guy in many ways, but he didn't have that multidimensional perspective and so he wasn't a great candidate for governor.
Do you think this will affect Martha Coakley?
Well, I think who knows? Martha's very bright person, and she may do well, but I think it's limiting experience.